Time for schmoozing.
Yeah.
So good news for DACA recipients. As of May 31st, there was 81, this is the bad news for DACA recipients, then we'll get to the good news. There was 81,000 petitions filed, backlogged at the end of June with USCIS for DACA recipients. 81,000 people applied for DACA, wow. And the application's sitting there. Nobody did anything. Of those 81,000, 62,000 were first-time applicants filed. Of the 62,000 applications for first-time people filed, that since it reopened after the courts eliminated Donald Trump's ban on DACA first-time applicants, out of the 62,000, USCIS has so far adjudicated 1,900 of them. So finally, Joe Biden, on July 14th, he has told USCIS to give more resources to DACA recipients. USCIS Interim Director Tracy Renard said the agency was working hard to process applications in a timely manner. It has fixed technical problems. It is moving immigration officers over to DACA recipients, and they are making a public awareness campaign to educate DACA applicants how to file the application to reduce processing times. What they really need to do is just put more officers on the cases. The agency said in correspondence with Congress people, biometric appointments were limited for a period of time due to COVID protocols. However, those scheduling issues have been overcome, and USCIS expects significantly more DACA initial requests to be completed as biometrics collections increase. USCIS also noted is sending many first-time DACA petitioner requests for evidence to determine their eligibility. There's a lot of people, what this shows is a lot of people file on their own, they don't file right, gums up the system. Not only gums up the system for others, but it gums up the system for themselves. So they're filing, and they're not filing properly. Immigration's requesting more evidence, delays their cases for months and months and months and months and months.
So that affects the DACA ones too. It really sucks because I know even some people who were, one in particular that was a DACA recipient since like 2012. His thing expired in July and he got terminated from his job because of that.
Yes.
So he's super happy now. You know, he lost his insurance, like health insurance and all that, just because, you know,
but also waiting. Now there's a way to expedite those cases if you are going to lose your job for humanitarian reasons. So hopefully the backlog will decrease. USCIS says they're putting more resources to it. We'll see how that works out.
Nice. That's good news.
I'm hoping for the best there.
That's good news.
Do you see what's going on in Cuba?
No.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on in Cuba.
Really,
there's huge protests. Huge protests in Cuba against the communist government. Demonstrations are coming as Cuba faces the worst economic crisis since the fall of the Soviet Union.
Oh, wow.
An increase in repression against political opponents, strained healthcare system at a critical stage of the pandemic. What this shows is that when people are hungry and when people don't have food and medicine, which are the primary things to keep you alive, food, medicine, maybe a roof over your head, you're going to start protesting no matter who your government is.
That's true.
Democracy, communism, authoritarianism. Your government doesn't give you food, medicine, and a home. People are going to the streets.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening in Cuba right now. By the way, all around the world. You don't have something, that's when governments get toppled because of that.
Right.
Okay. So in Miami, hundreds of people gathered in Little Havana neighborhood in solidarity with the growing protests in Cuba. Now, going back a little bit in history, you know, there's two sides to what's going on. Okay. In 2016, Barack Obama opened up the United States to Cuba. It allowed Cubans to send money to Cuba. It allowed Obama allowed cruise ships to go to Cuba, allowed American tourists to go to Cuba, opened up the American banking system to Cuba. Obama said at the time, it's time to bury the last remnants of the Cold War in the Americas. And Cuba started to do well. And Donald Trump came into power. He was voted in. A big constituency of his were Cuban Americans who are against the government in Cuba. So what Donald Trump did, because he wants to keep his base people who vote for him very happy.
I hate that picture of him.
And by the way, many Cubans in Florida voted for Trump.
Right.
Okay. He put back on sanctions on Cuba. Immediately, he rolled back everything Obama did.
Wow.
Immediately upon becoming president of the United States. What did that do? It forced food lines. It forced people to not be able to get medication. Add that on top of a pandemic, no tourists, and cutting off any sort of relationship between the United States, Cuba went into a tailspin.
Yeah.
The idea being that if you squeeze them hard enough, people will go to the streets and start protesting. So what Trump wanted is actually happening right now. Joe Biden, he hasn't put back what Obama did. He has continued the sanctions. It's kind of, in order to get a political result, which is what apparently Trump and Biden want, which is new government in Cuba, the people starve. Okay, and eventually they starve enough, you go to the streets and protest. And that's what's happening right now. So if you say, we don't care what the government is, let the people be and live and eat and be well and happy and everyone prosper and do what they want, then lift the sanctions. If it's a situation where, it's like taking somebody by the neck and cutting off their oxygen. Money is oxygen. And everybody knows money is oxygen. Not just to the Cuban government, to me, to Vanessa, to Yo-Yo. If you have no money, you can't breathe.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's what the U.S. government is doing to Cuba right now. No money, you can't breathe. People are in the streets protesting. So are we going to make them miserable for how long to get a political result? And there's two sides. Some people say get rid of the communist government there, which is really an authoritarian government. It's not really communist, but get rid of the authoritarian government, put in a democracy, get rid of Castro, get rid of Castro's people. And if people are going to starve, that's the reality. Other people say, poor people. Why are you making these poor people starve? Open back up to what Obama did. Let them eat. Let them live. Whatever happens, happens. What do you care who rules them? Let people live and be happy. The United States wants a political result. And by the way, right now, the Cuban government has blacked out the internet.
Oh, gosh.
So nobody has internet connection right now in Cuba so that they can coordinate any sort of protests. Now, President Biden, he has not lifted the restrictions so far. He said, when asked about lifting the sanctions, he pivoted and said, I don't think we've seen anything like this protest for a long, long time, quite frankly, ever. So he wants the protests to continue, Biden, too. He wants the Cuban government to be toppled as well. Interestingly, he was the vice president of Obama who opened up.
Right.
But apparently he has a different thing for Cuba than Obama. But that's what's going on. Cut off their oxygen, cut off their money, people go to the streets.
It's going to be dangerous.
All right, so.
But as well as, aside from just what's recently happened with the switches in presidents, this has been going on for over 60 years. The Cuban community is really just, at this point, they feel strong enough to be able to rebel, and they're not afraid right now to have their voices be heard and go out into the streets because they're fed up. Enough is enough. So that's really a lot of the communication coming directly from the Cuban community.
That's the Cuban community. That's the Cuban community in America. that you're hearing from. You're not
I mean,
hearing.
I'm-
You're
I'm
not here. You're not hearing
bringing
from the Cuban
awareness.
community in Cuba.
I was just sharing awareness of what I
Of
was
course,
familiar
right? I'm
with.
saying right. The Cuban community in America wants the government to be overthrown. A majority of them. Whether or not the Cuban community in Cuba wanted that, maybe yes, maybe no. Certainly the Cuban community in America. Meanwhile, Orange is a New Black. You know that TV show?
Yeah.
Yo, Vanessa?
actually, the cast, the storyline, everything is so iconic. They actually saved me. The cast saved me when I first moved here from DC. I had a horrible transition and I ended up meeting half the cast and they literally took me in. So they hold a special place in my heart.
All right. Well, they also hold a special place in the hearts now of all the people in detention
Yes.
and ICE.
Yes.
Because a prominent feature of the show, which was two characters who were in detention, the way that they were able to know what their rights were, there was a 1-800 number
Yes.
for inmates, because you don't have a right to a lawyer if you are detained by ICE. You have to have family on the outside who knows to hire
Exactly.
a lawyer like Spar and Bernstein. But if you're inside of a detention, the reality is you're in detention, you have no family here in America, you know, who's coming to hire a lawyer? You're stuck there in detention. I don't even know you're there.
Right.
Okay? So there is one hotline that detained people can call to learn about their rights and what they can do while in ICE detention.
So I remember seeing that on, because this was on the last season of Orange New Black, which is the finale season. And I remember seeing that with the hotline and them helping each other, but I didn't even know that was a real hotline.
It's a
Wow.
real thing. And then Donald Trump,
Probably was pissed.
the pumpkin, he was pissed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that picture. Oh,
Yeah.
that just makes me want to.
Yeah, doesn't he just look like a freaking pumpkin there?
Oh, it just
Don't you just
irks
want,
me.
right? It just irks you, right? So he ended the hotline.
Oh, what?
He said no one's entitled to know what their rights are, and he ended the hotline. There was a lawsuit, and under a July 1st settlement, federal immigration authorities agreed to provide uninterrupted access to the National Immigration Detention Hotline for 5 more years at a minimum, and pay $100,970 to the plaintiff's attorneys for bringing this lawsuit. So they got the hotline back. The hotline will be manned for at least a minimum of 5 more years.
Good.
In the show, the characters learn that the immigrants don't have a right to a free phone call after they're detained. They didn't have any money to find out how to represent themselves. Their only thing that they had was this
that
immigration hotline. And that's a reality. That is a reality. Amanda Diaz, the hotline's manager, said in a statement, in a system designed to dehumanize and disempower, the National Immigration Detention Hotline provides a critical means of connection for people in detention who are isolated from their loved ones and communities. So that's good.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And to our friends in France, it's Bastille Day.
Yeah.
Happy Bastille Day. Do you know what happened on July 14th, 1789? Anybody?
France won a
Bueller.
war.
Bueller.
They won a war.
They did not win a war, but close. It is.
I used to know because I used to work at FIAF, the French Institute Alliance.
Yes, it is the holiday that celebrates the anniversary of the storming of the Bastille, which is the jail in France that the king put all the revolutionaries in.
That's what it was.
And they stormed the jail, they released the revolutionaries, and that began the French Revolution. And now France's traditional national holiday and parade returned after 1-year hiatus. The parade in Paris was scaled down because of COVID. The traditional flyovers and military pageantry went ahead. And alongside the nationwide festivities in the southern Riviera town of Nice, a solemn ceremony was being held in the evening to mark the 5th anniversary of a terror attack that saw a man kill 86 people
Oh my goodness.
after driving a truck through a crowd of people watching the Bastille festivities
Sheesh.
5 years ago. Do you remember that?
Yes, people
I remember
are just
that.
so evil.
And here in New York City,
Yeah, I heard about this.
we have Little Italy.
Yes.
We got Chinatown.
Yes.
We got Koreatown.
Yes.
What else do we have? We have anything else?
Not that I know of.
I'm sure we have others that I can't think of off the top of my head. But in Manhattan, I'm aware of Koreatown. I'm aware of Chinatown,
Little
Italy, and now we have Little Paris.
Wait, do we have it yet?
We don't have it, but people are starting to call. They're starting to get official. They want an official, designation by New York City to call this area Little Paris. But people are starting to call it Little Paris anyway.
Okay.
And you know what happens when people start to call it Little Paris?
It becomes Little Paris.
It becomes Little Paris, whether New York City says it or not. It started with cousins Marianne and Leah Perrot, who founded Cuckoo, a cultural center that offers French classes and workshops for Francophiles.
They're young, too. Look at them.
Yes, and they're now petitioning to get Center Street between Broome and Grand, which is right below Little Italy, right above Chinatown, right to the east of Soho, if anybody knows this little area.
They already have little French cafes.
Yes, exactly. They have a lot of
of
French patisseries and cafes, and this is where Cuckoo is, which gives the workshops for the French classes. So this is apparently where a lot of people from France set up shop.
It would make sense.
It would make sense to call it Little Paris.
Yes.
So it has 600 signatures so far, and the petition, which has gone to Mayor de Blasio, says northwest of Little Italy is a hub of French businesses, boutiques, cafes, and restaurants. And yet real estate agents still name it Nolita, north of Little Italy.
Oh, no.
This can't be north of Little Italy.
Right. Little Italy is already Little Italy. Don't do north of Italy.
They don't call France north of Italy, right?
Yeah.
People in Italy don't go to Milan. They go, we're going to go to this country in the north. It's called north of Italy.
I mean, especially if they already have French businesses there. Just give it to them, y'all.
So they've covered the area with signs, dark blue and green, that say Little Paris. So people are going to start calling it Little Paris. It's the end of it.
I'll call it Little Paris.
Yeah, there's no more Nolita.
No.
It's now called Little Paris.
Nolita.
What do you think, Vanessa?
Paris is in France. It should be Little Paris. Little Paris.
Little Paris. Little Paris, right?
I'm with
it. On YouTube, there's Seema Singh is saying that there is a Little Guyana in Queens.
Oh, that's right. You know what, Little Guyana? That's Richmond Hill. But I didn't know, because a lot of Guyanese live in Richmond Hill.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that it was actually designated Little Guyana.
I didn't either.
I know.
We have a Little Ethiopia in LA.
Is it designated Little Ethiopia?
Absolutely.
It is.
And it's very famous. All the celebrities go there. It's all the Ethiopian restaurants. It's always on TV shows. And
really?
Yeah, Little Ethiopia is in
Very
LA,
nice.
close to like Fairfax area. Mm-hmm.
There's no Little DR anywhere.
I mean, there's Washington,
got the Washington
Heights. Of course.
That could be all of DR.
They should call it Little DR, right? All right, coronavirus in Mississippi. That's two S's, MISSISSIPPBI.
Yes.
Mississippi. In Mississippi, COVID cases have gone up 25% in the last 2 weeks. You want to know why? That's the least vaccinated state in the country.
Well, there you have it.
There you got it. Yesterday, State Health Officer Dr. Thomas Dobbs tweeted that of 7 children currently in the intensive care unit with COVID, so if you don't think children can get it, they do. 2 are on ventilators. It was not immediately clear if the 2 children who are on ventilators have the Delta variant or been vaccinated against the virus. Now, other residents getting vaccinated or have to armor against COVID-19 is not possible either because they're too young or immunocompromised, putting them at greater risk for the Delta variant. But Mississippi's having big problems.
Yeah.
And if you don't think children can get it, go to Mississippi. And by the way, if you don't think it's miserable, come interview me about my experience with COVID.
Yes.
I'll be happy to show you the videos of me with 105 temperature, coughing up huge chunks of blood every day,
Yikes.
double pneumonia,
Wow.
I was pretty bad. So, and in Tennessee, the Tennessee Department of Health is going to halt all adolescent vaccine outreach, not just for coronavirus, but all diseases, amid pressure from Republican state lawmakers who are trying to make political points and kill their constituents at the same time. The health department is also going to stop all COVID-19 vaccine events on school properties so that the Republicans in Tennessee can make political points and kill their constituents. The decisions to end vaccine outreach and school events comes directly from the health commissioner, Dr. Lisa Piercy. Additionally, the health department in Tennessee is going to take steps to ensure that it no longer sends postcards or other notices reminding teenagers to get their second dose of the coronavirus vaccines. Postcards will be sent to adults, but not teenagers. I don't know why they think that teenagers can't get coronavirus. The camels have been waiting all week. All right, summer's here, Vanessa. But when the sun goes down, it still gets cold, right? Even in the summer. So instead of freezing while you lounge on the couch, eating your potato chips and watching Netflix, why not keep yourself warm with none other than a crocheted penis blanket? Yes, you could buy a crocheted penis blanket now. This bad boy is the creation of Etsy seller Naughty Mature Gifts. The shop is run by Hakan in Turkey. And you can now wrap yourself up. You can now wrap yourself up in a crocheted penis blanket. Nothing more relaxing. Is that something you would want to put on, Vanessa?
That looks cozy.
That looks cozy, right?
It does. Somebody's grandmother is busy.
But I have to say, I've never seen two balls move like that. I mean, I don't know if that's even humanly possible. Is that even humanly possible to move two balls like that, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias?
You gotta check out OnlyFans.
I'm asking Jonathan because I'm like, I don't know if anyone can move their balls like that,
I'm sure you can find everything on OnlyFans.
So the product description reads, would you like to have a different and funny blanket? This penis blanket with hoodies wrapped around your feet and then stretches back and lies on your body. This blanket will come in its cover with its balls, and all you need to do is inflate the balls. It's $150.
What?
$150. Would you buy the penis blanket for $150?
That's a great gag gift, though.
It's not a bad gag gift.
The time it took that person to...
Right.
It's the craftsmanship.
Yeah, it's not a bad gag gift.
It's not.
All right, it's not a bad gag gift.
I want to see whose grandmother made that, though.
I just don't know. I just...
That is hilarious. That video is hilarious.
Yeah.
But I saw that they were selling a bunch of other crochet stuff as well.
But this is the funniest one. You can go to Etsy.com. They are not sponsoring this. I'm just giving them a free shout out. Etsy.com.
Would you? I think
I'd buy it. I'd buy it as a gag gift for somebody. You know.
How about look? There's a like adult apron. There's penis mask.
That's a little gross. All right. I think the penis blanket will stop there.
No, just go stop there.
Yeah, we'll stop there.
Yep.
All right. Meanwhile, they say beauty is only skin deep, which is lucky for hopefuls on a new dating show. Who include, we said this at the top of the hour, the new dating show includes aliens, zombies, trolls, a horny devil, and something that looks like Groundhog Sam. Touted as the strangest blind date ever, this new Netflix series called Sexy Beast, which premieres on July 21st, challenges 24 singles to find love without knowing what their potential partner looks like. The 6-episode series sees their faces almost totally obscured by disguises that transform them into an array of animals and characters.
That's actually brilliant.
This is basically the Masked Singer meets the dating game, I guess, right?
Love is Blind or Love Island.
Love Island.
They had that. I think it's called Love is Blind. It was a Netflix show that ended up becoming one of the top shows. Like I think it was last year because it came out during the pandemic. But it was basically like this concept, but you didn't see them at all. So for them to kind of, remix it and do this, I think it's brilliant.
What do
It's
you
funny
think?
as
What do
hell.
you think the reactions are going to be like after, like, all right, we like each other, we want to meet, and the masks come off? We'd be like, oh.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You
Because with the other reality show, like I said, is Love is Blind. They didn't see each other until they actually picked them, and they're still
really
together,
liked
and
that show.
some, it was actually amazing, and some they were like, yeah, absolutely not.
You would do
So-
that show.
I actually was
You would do
asked
that
to
show.
do.
You would
I
do
was
that
asked
show.
to do Love is Blind, and for the second season, I turned it down.
Why?
I'm
So you would not do that show?
Yeah, no.
Interesting.
Because I'm not gonna hurt somebody's feeling just in case. Because I can't hide my face. Can't hide my facial reactions. So I'm not gonna.
You are not a good poker player.
Set someone up to that.
Yeah, I'm not.
You
gonna
are
set
not a
somebody
good poker
up.
player.
No, I'm not.
Would you do it?
I really liked that show, and I think I'd be up for that.
Nesquik would do
I'd
it.
probably give it.
Nesquik, they would absolutely love you on that show.
Nesquik would do it.
You would be a winner.
Yes.
Like, if whoever picked you, they're gonna
People-
be super happy.
People
that
would be
they
like
picked
jumping
you.
up and like, yeah! Look
Yeah.
who I got!
No, seriously.
This beast! Look what she came
Yeah.
turned into, right?
Yeah, because some of them were looking at the guy.
Too, though, because you can't see people. It would take like a lot of energy to match mine. So
Right.
like if you are able to match that energy and I can't see you, then like you're off to a great start.
Yeah, yeah. It's a great. I could already tell this is gonna be an amazing show. I'm gonna watch it.
By the way, this is crazy. This is what Yo-Yo asked me right before we got on the air.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a former primary school teacher has become a full-time OnlyFans tutor.
Sheesh.
Yes, she's tutoring online on OnlyFans. Eva Wild, 43, made some extra cash on the side by her teaching job by selling some not safe for work photos and videos on OnlyFans. But when the pandemic hit, she decided to take it on full time. Eva now coaches models on how to promote themselves and gain subscribers. She makes up to $15,000 every month, coaching 75 models how to promote themselves and gain subscribers for up to $1,000 each. As wife and mom with a full-time career, she says, I had really lost touch with myself. My life seemed to be about everyone except me. It has been so incredibly rewarding getting to integrate my love of teaching with this new career. So she may need to teach us. I have a whole bunch of educations on OnlyFans.
I think she's teaching
Yeah.
something
Well,
a little different.
I haven't made 2 cents on OnlyFans.
You're not doing what they're doing on OnlyFans, Brad.
Maybe I need to. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I need to do there.
Let's just be
You have to
real.
loosen up the tie a bit.
Yeah, maybe.
That'll get them going.
And by the way, after joining OnlyFans, talking about after YouTube star Corinna Kopf. Who is she?
A YouTube star.
She's not a household name. I don't know who she is, but she is making waves. More recently, the former Vlog Squad member, whoever the Vlog Squad. You know what the Vlog Squad is?
No.
We don't know what any of this is. Revealed that she joined the subscription platform OnlyFans much to the delight of fans seeking more adult content. And it turns out that particular subsection of the fan base was pretty massive, considering how much money she's pulled in. In 48 hours, I made over $1 million.
And she shows the receipts.
What in 48 hours?
In
Yes.
48 hours.
Look at the receipt right there.
What is she doing? What is she doing?
Look at the receipt.
What is she doing on
It says
OnlyFans?
it. Well.
Can someone check what this woman's doing on OnlyFans that she made $1 million in
And
48
this
hours?
This is a day before my birthday, y'all.
In messages?
In messages and subscriptions
In
What is she doing?
and tips. Well, what do you think? She's doing?
What is she doing? You know how much
this
money
one,
Bradshaw
this
Live has
catch me
made on
outside.
OnlyFans, Vanessa? 0. I will show. We don't make anything on OnlyFans.
So that's what we were asking. Like, if you were offered,
Yes.
that much money. I mean, look. And then I saw that she gambled after just to celebrate and made like $30,000 more. I'm like, what?
All
the
right.
heck?
So Kopf,
And she's just about to turn 18.
she's not 18 years. She has to be over 18 to do this.
Are you serious?
She can't be under 18.
Batty bad or whatever.
No. This is somebody different.
Oh, okay.
Okay. No, Corinna Kopf. She can't.
Oh no, that's Bad Baby.
Yeah,
you talking about Bad Baby?
I'll tell you why. Is this who Corinna Kopf is?
Yeah.
Is this who she is?
Yeah.
Okay, put her back. So she got the idea. She's 25 years old. She had to be over 18.
Yeah,
all
she
right.
thought it was
all right,
Bad
so,
Baby.
All right, so she's attractive. She's got, showing her cleavage. She fed into the idea in the moments after her big reveal by sharing a message from a fan who gave her a $100 tip and casually asked her if she can show some female genitalia.
There you go.
So there you go.
That's what she's
So
doing.
that's what she's doing. $1 million. $1 million in 48 hours. Female genitalia. Which leads to the question.
There it is.
If you were guaranteed $1 million. This is like the Robert Redford movie with Demi Moore.
Oh, God.
Yeah. If you were guaranteed, now there's no guarantee you would get it. So, you could show your female or male genitalia
Right, and not
make a
it.
penny and then completely embarrass yourself.
Right.
So, that's why people, Indecent Proposal, right? That was the movie, Indecent Proposal, where Robert Redford guaranteed Woody Harrelson $1 million to be with Demi Moore for the night. If you were guaranteed $1 million, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, would you do it? Bear it all. No holds barred. The full Monty.
It's got to be more. It's got to be more. But I definitely.
It's got to be more than $1 million.
It's got to be more, but I could be bought.
He could be bought, but it's got to be more than $1 million.
Yes.
Vanessa,
Right.
I'll let you take the fifth if you want, but you can answer if you want.
I will have to just always see eye to eye with Yo-Yo, and we'll have to raise the price.
Yeah.
Right. I see your million and raise it. I see your million and I raise it.
Listen, because I'm gonna have to. I was just talking about. I'm gonna have to be able to give my mom a good meal just off of GP, just so she could be like.
Yeah. Now remember.
So she doesn't have a heart attack.
Now remember, depending on what state you are, you make $1 million. In New York City, for example, you're paying more than 50% in taxes.
Yeah.
So
then you're walking out with 500,000.
You're walking out with less than 500,000.
You're
gonna walk out with about 475 or something like that.
Mama's shame ain't worth that.
That's what I was talking about. But then if I give my mom a good meal, she's gonna be baby oiling baby boy.
But in Miami, Vanessa, you'd walk away with more. You'd walk away with over 600,000. The difference in tax. That's why people are moving to Florida.
Yeah.
I feel like
But
if they
need
want
more.
us for a meal, we could talk them up.
Carol Anderson, the Tiger, says, I can see Yo-Yo doing this.
So, Yo-Yo, there was 16,000 people who petitioned. 16,000 people petitioned to see Little Paris turn the area to. I think we could get more than 16,000 people for Yo-Yo on OnlyFans.
So funny thing is, I get that in my DMs almost daily. So OnlyFans? Absolutely not.
Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.